Hello and welcome to another update video about the Sandbox. It's one of the coins I don't analyze too often because clearly I have to prioritize as well. You know, it's a lot of work, but it's one of the coins that a lot of channel members requested. Again, as a channel member, you can put requests in. It's not an official membership perk or extra because I cannot guarantee that these requests will be covered. But if I have in a certain week, let's say 4 or 5 requests for a coin, I give my best to cover it. I already covered Near today, Aave. Those were also requested by channel members, and Sandbox is another one that has been requested heavily, probably because also we see a bit of a few green candles. And I'm quite pleased because, you know, we made my last Sand video was a few weeks ago, and I gave you a detailed overview of the entire account, and we did count it bullish, as you can see. Talked about this being an probably a WXY pattern to the downside. So the count is unchanged from the previous video. We talked about that in this Y pattern, we identified an ABC structure and that the C wave ideally was coming to an end. And I even counted here the 5 waves in the diagonal. And yeah, you know, we made that low. I believe we had another low after my last video in this wave 5, and we had a wedge and we broke out of it, and happy days. You know, anybody who observed that or was watching that wedge pattern after my last video and you entered maybe at the breakout or whatever, then congratulations. I personally wanted to to see it a little bit lower. Well, we came very close anyway, but I think the first key target, I mean, don't get me wrong, this came down far enough anyway. We talked about that. It did come down, I think even, was it below the 88.7% FIB? Let me just double check that. I think we did. Yeah, okay. So that is basically around 97 cents, that 88.7% FIB level. But so we came down far enough to complete this wave 2 anyway. But looking at the lower level extensions, we got a target of around 33 cents, but that was missed by around 4 cents, I believe. But either way, we had a reversal signal when we broke out of the wedge to the upside. Of course, I can't follow all charts on a daily basis, but now we get back to it. And I don't think there is any action to be taken now, to be honest. We certainly are getting close to the peak here, in my opinion. It would surprise me to push much higher without a larger setback. It can of course happen. We have a temporary setback at the moment, a temporary correction certainly, and we're going to take a look what this could mean. So first of all, we certainly have an impulse, and I think we can focus on higher now against the low of 37.5 cents. That's absolutely the case. It has, in contrast to many other coins, and that's what I like about Sand, a hard low. There are coins like Link, it's just sideways mess. This one here has a clear low and is now potentially reversing. Now again, there is no guarantee this low is in yet. Yes, it has certainly fulfilled all the requirements. The pattern to the downside was full. It hasn't reached though our target, so I'm a bit careful here to call the bottom. Either way, I wouldn't be able to call the bottom anyway without a reversal where the bulls can hold a higher low. So we want that pattern to finish here and then wait for that reversal so that we can basically call out that the bear market was most likely over or is over, because this could be counted as a wave 1 here now. Maybe one more leg up, we're going to take a look at that. Then the wave 2 retracement will be what is going to be important. I'm waiting for that for Mana as well. And if we talk about a target now for the wave 2, we talk about the area between 47.6 and 61.2 cents, which it would need to hold in a wave 2, which would be suitable for scaling in. Now again, that's based on the current high of 85 cents. If we make one more high here, which I cannot rule out, maybe towards the B wave high of 98 cents, I mean, that would be interesting if we push to that level before we come down. Yeah, but then I would have to move up the position. Okay, I would need to move up the wave 2 support. I think we're getting towards the end of this move up. Yeah, you see that with stronger rejections. You know, the sellers are selling into the rally, not too strongly yet, but you certainly see increased selling pressure emerging across the market at the moment. Now this could just be a wave 4 potentially, with one more leg up to come. And that target for that one more leg up, I think a suitable one would be around 98 cents, maybe just below that. But then I would have to move up the target box. So just that you understand that. Interesting as well is that we got rejected at the moment from the 200-day moving average. That is the blue line here. Bitcoin, by the way, broke above it. You will probably know that, but Sand didn't. So it got rejected here. So it's at the moment possible to count this move up as complete. We certainly have enough waves. Yeah, we can count this as a 1, 2 here. This is a 3 here, maybe a 4 triangle, and then the 5 up. I will, however, need to change here the wave degree. So does it mean it has to come down yet? No, not really. This can still extend higher. It could also very well be, and that's what I'm observing for some other coins as well, that this here was a wave 3, yes, but the wave 4 is just unfolding as a triangle here, maybe even a large triangle. There are different possibilities. Wave 4 could have been in here with the wave 5 up, or the wave 4 might still be unfolding. Let me think. The wave 4 might be not as a triangle, but it might be unfolding as basically a running flat. Yeah, some charts really look like running flat patterns at the moment. So let me show you that. For example, here as an A wave down, yeah, then the B wave up and the C wave down now. The reason I'm saying that is because it hasn't really managed to get off the ground from the recent lows. So this looks very corrective here still, this move. So it doesn't really suggest that we are, sort of in an impulse to the upside at the moment. Therefore, different corrective. Could be we're still stuck in this correction. And also here there are different possibilities. The C wave could come down slightly below the A wave low. And therefore, it's important to understand what is the key point and micro support against which we can still focus on higher, because there are different patterns how this wave 4 could evolve. I mean, at the moment we could assume the wave 5 is in, but we haven't really had a signal that it's coming down, because a signal, in my opinion, is given if we break below the last swing low, and that would be here at 67 cents. Now, if you trade the very, very small waves on the lower time frames, maybe for you a signal was already the break below that low, but still the significant one is here, the 67 cent level, getting below that. But let's just double check it with the fib levels and fib support based on the latest high. So this is probably the more relevant fib. No, it can't be. One sec. Yeah, see, if I'm looking at this as the wave 3 here, this as the wave 4 here, then it was really, again, just a very shallow wave 4. And that's where we're sitting a little bit on the fence at the moment, because a very shallow wave 4 after such a run is rather unusual. At least we would like to have a healthy wave 4 in the 38.2 fib region, 62.5 cents. So let's see. Based on the structure here, it's really difficult to say if the wave 4 was already in or not. So it's a bit of speculation. So the point that I try to make here is that be ready for further downside. A break above the 85 cent level would probably allow us to push higher into the, let's say, 98 cent region. If we come down further, it could just still be a wave 4. But what I cannot rule out is that we are just sort of already in the wave 2. As you can see, target levels would overlap. So if we say a wave 4 could get into the region between the 23.6 fib and the 50% fib, this would be overlapping with the other target range. Technically speaking, therefore, it might make sense when we get into the region around the 38.2 or the 50% to start scaling in carefully, between 62.5 and 58 cents. I would be careful with leverage. So target range would be here, sorry. I would be careful with the leverage, because this could still come down lower in a wave 2 scenario. So again, we've got two scenarios. Target areas are overlapping, just not necessarily a bad thing, because it means, they're quite close together. So as soon as we hit the 38.2 fib at 62.5 cents, it might make sense to carefully start to scale in. If it bounces already off the 38.2 fib, then you could at least trade a still upcoming wave 5. Let's say the wave 4 is still ongoing. You bounce off that fib, and then you can still trade the wave 5. So you have to be a bit more patient, but could then take profits and could scale in again into the wave 2 area when we come down finally, right? So I think we've got a large target area. This is sort of the trade setup area, I would say, between 62.5 cents and 47. A drop below 47 cents would, however, mean that we're probably not going to hold this wave 2, and it's probably going to break down. So yeah, I think this makes sense. Also from a strategic point of view, we don't know exactly in which scenario we are, but because the target areas are so close together, it doesn't make a great difference really. And those are interesting levels, I think, to look at for possibly scaling in. Again, if this support level breaks, not a problem, you're in the other target area anyway. And as always, I would suggest personally to have a smaller position size at the top, then go larger as we go lower with a stop loss below the box. But you don't need to have a stop loss. That's an individual decision, clearly. And that's where we are certainly at the moment. Bear in mind, we've got the 200-day moving average as resistance. So, we could have, and that's what I'm trying to say as well, we could have 5 waves finished already, but haven't seen enough price action to indicate that the wave 5 is in, because we haven't really broken below the last swing low. The trend, also the micro trend, isn't really changing yet, which again indicates, be ready for both scenarios. Important either way is that as long as we're holding here the 47 cent level, we can focus on higher really in the sort of short term. And then we can trade the third wave to the upside. I can't really give you a target because there is no significant top in place yet. Also, this could just become a larger ABC structure. So I cannot rule out that we are still in the bear market, and after ABC we will come down, but that doesn't matter because against this level you can trade the C wave. And if it's a C wave or a wave 3, doesn't really make a great difference. So that's where we are with Sand. Hopefully that clears things up and gives you 2 scenarios to think about. Hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye bye.